25. To speak of, call it a 1-yard gain after the 26.
They're getting credit for trying. There's no fault the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up the stuff to run, and then executed.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 for the 26. Throwing is Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it works awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On play action, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On second down, Cook. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, we might not want to away, but you got to know he feels like he's right on the verge. That's exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on a 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A nice sneaky stop for a loss there for Jalen Phillips.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Cousins will throw it. He'll buy some time running. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes in. Emmanuel. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to get the football as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against an interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. After the turnover, it's Tua. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So problems with Aaron passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, Parker, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
Following the interception, Cousins, and the Dolphins rush gets home, down he goes. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover, was the last drive. You think they'd make an adjustment and be ready to make up for that turnover? Instead, just another big play for the defense on that snap.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Cousins.
That ain't who I threw it to.
This is intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off.
Man, that's my cousin. Fuck up, bro.
It's so on the scoreboard because the quarterback's got to wake up to the big defense a hell of a lot better after throwing a second interception.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Carry for Chase Edmonds. Trends and Darius Smith able to get through and make that tackle for a loss.
One of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Tua sets up to pass it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
It was great just to see Daniil Hunter back on the field after missing all of 2020 with a neck injury. When he's on top of his game, book him for the Pro Bowl, and he'll always be contending for All-Pro status.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
That big game still a place to go, though. So the interception set up a terrific field position.
Points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say we should have done better there.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. the Vikings now to start their next drive. They entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to get the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them. But go ahead and throw this out with me, Governor. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
On the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 35. 22 yards there, a first down. Play fake, Cousins. They'll roll him out right.
How does he change low the ball?
What a start to this ball game. Still in the first quarter, and he now has 3 sacks on pace for double digits. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play time.
Well, I'll tell you what, when he popped out shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Bunches throw, taking it in by 4. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, show them a shotgun, then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Throwing, Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Can't get some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air and tries to get some kind of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 20-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Cousins gets right to Cook. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
How do you feel this thing committed to running the football, especially on the early downs? They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins.
This nigga.
It's going to be incomplete.
I like the confidence of how he played here. No panic in his eyes. It's up to a ride. Trapped up in the middle with the quarterback's in, and it's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Cousins. Escaping the pressure right.
What the fuck was was that?
Big drop by Shabbat Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have to put down at their own 1-yard line. So that is a definite deflator there on the interception.
Yeah, you work your way down the field, picking your position, or go ahead and score. But all it takes is one errant throw, and this one winds up a turnover.
That nigga threw that bitch in. Man, that's hilarious shit, bro.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line. They'll get this into the hands of motion. And we gain a 5, and it's second down.
Our defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. They went with a run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
On third down, here comes Mostert. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a touchdown.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Here comes Rager. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Cousins now. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Cook up the gut. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On second down, it's Cook again. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Following a good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel sub packages, don't they?
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. To throw is Cousins. Smith catches left side. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Setting up the screen for Cook. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Final play of the half, Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Tua. And Wilson with it, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be brought down at the 27. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
2 on a throw again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. But their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Cook running right. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a good call there. That brings up 4th. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this returnable for Hill. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum to So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Quick slant, Tyreek Hill with it. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From midfield, here's Tua. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So that, Charles, may be the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something, because we're into the 3rd quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Following the interception, Cousins. They start near midfield following the... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brand, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused. I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
First down catch there by Jalen Waddle. What a promising debut for the 6th overall pick in the 2021 draft. Led all rookies with 104 receptions, mainly catching passes from his college teammate, Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Tua once again here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The kick by Sanders is good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they got the turnover started in great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing off.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and it shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking him.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. He's letting this one go for Fuller. It got his man complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. But he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And for a while when this play's open, all the talk was about punts hitting the Giants scoreboard here in Arlington. I don't think we ever heard about a pass hitting the scoreboard, but that's probably about as close as you're going to get. That one was way up there.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. A first down throw for Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Cook. Uses the stiff arm. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Second and goal from the 1. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. On 2nd and very short, Tua. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That play was hard to see. One play goes wrong, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and very long when they had been in 2nd and inches.
Yeah, I know you like the idea of taking a shot on 2nd and inches, but you can't take a sack for that big of a loss.
That's the one thing you cannot do. They gave it up, and now they're way behind the chains. Good luck with this next play call.
On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it. And sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll go Madison up the middle. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Joseph's got it, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Taking it about the 1, and able to get this out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. From the gun, it's Tua. His throw incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Let's go.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
Yeah,
that's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 77 yards. And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Tua. And he's going to get in for the 2 points. And that'll make this a 10-point game. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is a big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Left side, Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are on defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now to this point.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you...
And now here is another interception. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 15.
Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback...
And that's caught inside the 30. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that. We're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep.
And they will not get the 2 points here, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. And that will be the final snap of the ball game.